Well, you know, it's fucked up is that we finally hit our thousandth like. But
Hey,
that just means technically, yeah, right. I know, right? It's straight up. Hey,
oh,
listen,
man,
we're a
hey,
small publication here,
shouts out to
but
you, Playboy.
shout outs to y'all. Shout out to them. Shout out to you. Shout out to the listener, the viewer, the watcher at home. Um, However, not to play devil's advocate, but you do realize that since our podcast now has been out essentially, it's been 4 months today, actually. Holy shit, it's the
Months
12th. 4 months today. So
today.
brr, 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 brr. So what's crazy is that we got 1,000 likes. And that just means if you consider the 4 months and all the times we've been shown in the feeds and things like that, there's like 200 fucking thousand people that have said, hey, fuck you guys.
You know it's about that time to grab a bag of the stickiest itchy bind you can find and pearl one up. Welcome to the Pearled Up Podcast.
I got real shit to talk to you about today. Listen, what motherfucker did you pearl? Ah!
Bro, listen.
What up?
I got something special, man.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Because today's special, man. It's a special day today. I don't you don't know this because you don't know what's happening right now. I do, but I have
Asking you what you
something.
pearling up. All right, I'm in
I got
there. I win.
I got a backwood, okay? It's tobacco. You are come on, bro. You know I be out here. But it's a can you see that?
Oh shit, Pennsylvania
Pennsylvania
Primo.
Primo. PP
Your boy.
Primo. Pawley Primo. Shouts out to you, Playboy.
Your boy.
I wrote up.
That's fucking fun. How is it? Is it good? Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it yet, but you know it's giving me cream,
Oh,
like the old Dutch Masters. You remember the
like the vanilla
vanilla
Dutchies?
cream? Yeah,
Yeah,
the vanilla
vanilla
Dutch.
Dutchies with the
The
they
blue
were
foil.
brown with
The
the blue
blue
and the
foil.
gold.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So that's what I
Can't
wrote.
go wrong.
A little bit of the some Gushman,
Okay.
and did I did have to hit the outer space today. So I put some Moonies in here.
Hey, hey, I got some Paul Mooney's in this motherfucker too.
Hello.
Heyo.
But so yeah, so that's what I pearled up. But what about you, Playboy? What would you pearl up today?
Well, you over there gushing it up with the Moonies. Your
Yeah.
boy over here, I got the cotton candy flavored turp infused Moonies, and I
Okay.
rolled that in what they call the Bisconte,
Ooh.
and that is all put inside of a sour apple camo Bisconte. Man, my man got the
Damn.
Pennsylvania Primo. I
Pennsylvania.
would like to try that. I would really like to try that.
I'll send you something. You know what I'm saying? I'll send you something.
You know what's crazy is
Uh,
that as I light this motherfucker up,
yeah, let's get
I
up in.
think about my man Kevin Spacey's net worth going up in flames.
Ouch. Listen, yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there. Okay.
Cousin Randy style.
Stop you right there. All right. We're not gonna even get into that today. We're gonna do something special today. I'm hijacking the episode. All right. This is a
What we doing?
appreciation episode. We're me and you right now.
What you
I
do?
want to do something. I want to welcome everybody to Conversation with J Buddah.
Oh shit.
Okay. And
Okay.
today we got a special guest. A
Who
special
we got?
guest. He is one half of the host of the Pearled Up podcast.
I know
He
that guy.
is the host of the Conversation. Is my boy, your homie,
Hey,
Pawley Primo.
what the fuck?
Clap it up, clap it
Golf
up.
clap.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, but man, I want to honestly, I just want to kind of get into your head a little bit of how you came up with that. Because when you brought it to me and was like, yo, this is what I want to do, we're going to do our shit. But I want to try this. You know what I'm saying? When you brought it to me, I'm like, hey man, do your thing, because I don't know. I'm not an interviewer. I don't, be doing that shit. But you picked up the fucking ball and you ran with that shit. I just want to go pick your brain a little bit on it. I want to go a little behind it because I know some things. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to see, how you came up with it. Just kind of dive into it a little bit, man. So just explain to our listeners and viewers, like, where your mind state was at of how you came up with the ConeVersation, because that name alone just captivates me.
Okay. Damn. Okay. Listen, my man.
Hijack, bro.
Okay, hijack, bro. I wouldn't expect. Listen, let me hit this moon rock right quick. Let me hold up.
It's beautiful though, man. He's 5. You're 5 in. First of all, I'm gonna just list them real quick, and we're gonna go over them. Anthony Miracola, Guinness Book of World Records holder, numerous records, 3-point champion from different shootout competitions, hundreds of thousands of dollars won, craziness. Then you had the queen herself, Debra Wilson. Like, that one blew my mind. That's crazy. Voiceover actress, just all around, just interesting, wild person. I love her. Then you came with, who was after that? That was
we had R.A. the Rugged Man.
R.A. That was, whoa, bro. That blew my mind.
That was a cool one too, man.
Yeah. All the way from, where was he at? Berlin, Germany?
Berlin, man. He moved all the way over to Berlin.
So R.A. the Rugged Man. And then you enter the chat with John the Machine Davis, slap champion, middleweight champion of the slap competition.
Wow. He smacked the shit out of somebody.
Emerging sport. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, your mind get that? Crazy. And then you just recently saw the last one. You had what's my man's name? Alex Vincent.
Fucking Andy Barkley
from Child's Play, bro.
Chucky. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
We're just climbing the ladder here. That's
trying, dude.
But tell me a little bit about it, man. How ConeVersations come about? Like, how that sparked to you?
Well, okay. So because we had started doing the thing. We were setting our voyage on this fucking podcast. Right. And I was like, you know me, man. Much just like when we used to do music and shit, I'm always like, what else can I do? What else
Everywhere. Can I do? Your mind is going a million miles a second.
It does. It really does. Whether it has fruition into something or not, me, I'm always like, oh, check this out. Listen to this. Like, it's crazy. It's stupid sometimes, but but realistically, I was just like, man, because I'll tell you this, and the reason why I bring up the music, don't think I'm skipping over it, is because I always liked being on the other side of something with somebody who's either popular or like I said, with my cousin being starstruck with Busy Bone, like I like being on the other end of people. I like people who, if you see somebody and you get starstruck by them, I want that person to look at me as an equal in some way, shape, or form. That's just been it's always how I've been. I'm like, if I appreciate somebody or I appreciate what they do, I'll let it be known. But at the same time, I want them to see me as an equal, because I see them for their talent, not for the star of what I want them to be. So going back into this, when we started doing this, I was like, this, because we have a lot of good talks, and whether people were their cup of tea or not. And, we've had a lot of talks about trying not to be too hokey, but being ourselves and being a little hokey and shit like that. It's a fine line. But one thing I wanted to do to separate myself was to go, it's been a long time since I had these conversations, or I've been able to speak to somebody that's in a little bit of the limelight on a level like that. And it's been years.
And so I said, you know what? People don't know this about you. You've been able to, this man has, through music and everything, he's been able to maneuver his way to interacting with certain people.
Straight up.
So it's like when I say these names of people that he's speaking to, and when I tell y'all the ones to come are crazy, it's all about shooting your shot. And I'm when I tell you this man shoots his shot and you got to make it count. So you always, if you're going to shoot it, make sure it's proper. So
Straight up.
I applaud you in your confidence to take that step and shoot your shot in a sense.
I appreciate that. Because
Continue.
because at the time, like real shit, when I had hit Anthony Miracola up, right?
Yeah.
We didn't even have an episode out. You know what I mean? It was before, and I was just like, yo, a fucking, Proed Up podcast, this is what it is, da 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 da. And I told him, I was like, there's another half of this, podcast where just want to have a conversation with people. And I was thinking of it, you know, I'm not a big drinker, so how did, to answer the conversations, how did that come about? The name, it's like I'm not a big drinker, but I wanted it to be a social setting, and I find a cone or a spliff or a joint or a blunt, exactly like, it's a very
In a
social
sense,
thing.
with the podcast, we have a conversation in a sense.
Exactly. Yes, we have
That
it's a very high comedy,
right.
sporadic conversation.
You
And I
want to
just thought
take
it
that
was
and
pretty
kind of
neat.
slow it down and kind of dive into these people who are in another world,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
You're talking
Absolutely.
legendary
On a
rapper, you're
different
talking
plateau.
actors, you know what I mean, sports figures. Like these are different people from different worlds, and
Yeah.
you're having a conversation with them
Yep.
like a normal human being, like we are.
Yep. And the
That's
name itself, I feel it hits all the marks. What is it? It's a conversation with a cone. You know what I mean?
right.
It's a spliff. It hits all the marks. You know what it is when you hear the name. You go, oh, what is that? It's a conversation. Oh, that's a really good play on words. Oh, so you guys are talking and getting high. If they smoke, and ironically, I've never smoked weed during a conversation.
Right. Yeah.
There's a little fucking little primo fact. Never. I've always had one rolled up next to me every single time, but I've never ever lit it. It's crazy.
Okay. That's interesting. Now,
Yeah.
um, from watching the five, I know the only person that even smoked, I believe, was Alex Vincent
Yeah, that's
out
it.
of
He was the
everyone.
only person that smokes. Um,
Everyone was okay with it. They never,
yeah,
I mean, I think you
nobody had a
asked all
problem
of
with it.
them and none of them cared. I think John Davis, I believe he used CBD and stuff for like his recovery and stuff like
Yup.
that. So
His
that
muscles and shit.
those are little crazy things that it's like, wow, okay, you pulling that out of people when he's talking about the sodas and stuff like that. So that's just, cool little inside stuff.
Yup.
That what is it? Inside the actor's attic or
Okay,
whatever.
yeah, inside actor studio type shit.
Studios,
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
It's because I look at it like and I'll say something, since we're doing this like this little run back, right?
Yeah,
Something I got from you, because I always try to, I tell you this, I tell you this in private, but I say it now. I always try to have a takeaway from everybody I talk to.
right.
Because I mean,
We talk the most, you know what I'm saying?
oh
We
yeah, exactly.
advice from each other, you know what I'm saying? I lean on you, lean
Exactly.
on me. We're, you know what I'm saying? You my brother, so that's just
We're
do.
always running shit by each other.
Right, right.
Whether it be good or bad or funny or whatever, it's just like blah 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 blah
Right.
blah. We're always chit chatting it up. It's cool though because you can get inside of other people's heads, right? And just like I told, or yeah, you know what? My bad. I got a little off track because I'm a little high. Um, something that you had told me, you were like, man, people with that, it's not just me talking to them, but if I'm gonna have a real conversation, I have to open up and give a piece of myself back, right?
Because you
Whether
don't want to
we
just
have
go into your next question, you know?
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And 9 times out of 10, it's because I look at it from my point of view, the way I always am is when I'm doing something, just like when we study music and I bring these people through, it's not about me. I might be a facilitator for the right now, but it's not about me. I always look at it as like, who gives a fuck about me? It's about these people. That's why I invited them here. And I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to take anything away from that.
Right.
But to open up, as stupid as it sounds, yeah, that's like the missing piece of the puzzle. You have to open up, you have to show
Have to,
people
yeah,
the
you
other
have to be
side of me
about
as
you a little
well.
bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and which is great because that helped manifest it into what I got told. Alex
Alex Vincent.
Vincent.
Right, right.
You know, hey, I light up. I say, hey, what's your name? Like right now, we're sitting down, and if we didn't know each other, you go, hey, what's your name? Oh, Paulie, Paulie, and I go, oh, your name's Buddha. Oh, yeah, okay,
Just
cool,
like
man.
at
What do you do?
parties.
Yeah, yeah. I run these little fucking conversations, and you would go, oh, who, what, whatever you're gonna say, what's that like? Who are they like? What, what? Oh, that's cool. You did this, It's
For
just
sure.
weird,
For sure.
because it puts you into their side too, and I'll try to like humanize it. Like I always try to give people a way, like a way to express themselves, not just give them the same format of fucking dumb questions, and some of
Look
them
for
are
those different questions
intentionally,
or
yeah, some of them are
right,
intentionally dumb because they have to be, just because it's on
right,
brand. It's just
right.
like, hey, man, you got to have fun with it too.
You have to,
You
man.
have to.
We said it before. If you're not laughing, what are you doing?
It's
Have
fucking
fun with
true.
life because there's a lot of shit going on that's just not fun.
That's
you
true,
know.
man. That's
So,
true.
but I want to get into let's start at the beginning. So Anthony
Okay.
Miracola, um, like I said, Guinness World Record holder, numerous times
Yeah,
for
he was at
different
one
things.
point eight
Eight
time
times.
Guinness World Record holder.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you know of him prior to Conversations? Like, was that a person you knew? Were you like, whoa, this is
Dude,
crazy?
listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? That's what we're here for,
Keep
right?
it a bean.
So, like, 2 months before I talked to him, you know me, I'm not a big sports guy, but I do like basketball. So
Right.
come across my feed, and it was like 2 months before we had him on, and it was like, hey, this is a guy you don't know, but he's the world's best shooter. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So I like scrolled past it, and then it came back, and I was like, hey, that's that guy again. What? Okay, what's this guy doing? And it was just like boom, and I was like, yo, I gotta fucking check this dude out, see if he's legit. And he ended up being legit. So I looked him up, and then I just hit him up and was like, hey man, would you want to be on? And it took like a week for him to get back to me. And then
Okay.
he hit me up and was like, hey, I would love to be on, actually. That's really cool. Thanks for inviting me on. But
Wow.
I have to go to California for a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, man, whatever.
Okay.
And it happened to be for the Gilbert Arenas challenge.
Wow.
And then boom, I'm like, okay, cool. And I wake up the fucking, like, it was like a Monday morning. I woke up, I'm flipping through TV, and it was like NBA fucking, or 3-point champion fucking Anthony Miracola. I was like, $100,000 champion. I'm like, what in the fuck? And he's like everywhere. And then all of a sudden I get this phone call, because we had spoken on the phone. And
Yeah.
I get this phone call, and he's like, hey man, it's Anthony. And I'm like, yeah, what's up, dude? I literally just seen you on ESPN. And he's like, I just want to let you know, I can't come on your show this week, like we talked about. A lot of people were hitting me up, as you can imagine, a lot of press. He was like,
Did you think he was gonna
but
flake on you?
yeah, I did. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I did. Because at that point in time, he's like, who the fuck is this guy? Right. In my
Ooh.
head.
We didn't have an
But
episode. We didn't have nothing
we have
out.
nothing out,
Yeah, no
you know?
credentials.
But he called me and was like, hey, I just won this, I won a championship out of that, or won the contest. And I was like, yeah, I know. And he was like, just want to let you know, it'll be like a week or so, but I wanted to call you because I can't be on when I said I would, but and all these publications want to get me on, but
Right.
I want to keep my word to you, because before anybody wanted anything to do
Oh,
with
that's
me,
some G shit. Yeah.
yeah, before I won this shit,
For
like you had
all
hit me
this.
up. Yep.
Yeah.
He was like, so I just want to let you know that I'm still on board. And I was
Oh,
like, yo,
man of
he's a
his
cool
word.
motherfucker, man.
Yeah,
He's
that's what's up,
cool.
man. Shouts out to
Yeah.
Anthony Miracola, man.
Yep. Yeah, Miracle
Yeah,
of
so
360.
y'all go check out that episode. That was a really different one. I didn't know of him until that. You kept telling me, "Hey, watch the thing, watch it." And I'm like, when you drop it, I'll watch it.
Right, right.
And I was really surprised and really interested, and it was just a different outlook, a different thing.
Yeah.
Then and then you went completely
Left.
left.
Right?
And bro, Debra Wilson. Like that's part of my childhood as someone who loves comedy and is trying to wants to take a shot at stand up and sketches and stuff like that. Like
Right.
Debra Wilson is like what?
Hey, dude.
Where
Well,
did How'd that even piece to you? How'd that even
we did this thing, you know what I mean? We did a quick cam that is like unreleased right now, and we did
right?
a quick cam, and she was real generous on there. She was real awesome. And I noticed that, our way of getting in contact with her, it was open for it was a line of communication open now. So I just took
Right.
my chance and was like, hey, da 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 da, in
Shot
addition
your
to
shot. That's
this,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
shot the shot was like, in addition, got this thing where, talk to people. And she was real cool. She hit me back and she goes, okay, well, what are we going to talk about? Right.
Right.
And I said, well, and at that point in time, I just want to say at that point in time, Conversations, I thought I had an idea of what it was. Right. When we first started the podcast,
You
we
had
kind
the
of had an idea of what it
outline.
was.
Yeah.
But in my head for the Conversations, I was like, yeah, it's going to be like this. I'm going to get on and I'm going to be like fucking Geraldo, and I'm going to be like,
Oh
da
no.
da 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 da. I'm going to be like Geraldo that smokes weed. You know what I mean? Like, let me ask you this. Let me talk to you about that.
Hard
Blah, blah,
hitting
blah.
questions.
But the twist of it is what I think what draws people in or will eventually, once it gets
Right.
bigger and it catches on and the word of mouth spreads about everything, I think what will catch people on is it's not the same questions these people get asked. And that is
No,
where
you're
you know what I'm saying? Like,
not. Right.
with Anthony Miracola, you have to have a couple of the questions because you have to let them shine on what they do. But
Right.
then again, like I said, I wanted people to take away who these people really are in some fashion. And I learned that with Debra Wilson, coming back to the original
Right.
like thing about Debra Wilson.
That
Like I
was
learned that with her because I
an
was like,
interesting interview.
it was crazy.
She was
Well, you,
not crazy, very sane.
no, no, no. Yeah, oh yeah, it was very sane. It was very credible. But
Yeah.
the thing about her was I was like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about your time on Mad TV. Let's talk about that. And she was like, I don't want to talk about that. What else are we going to talk about?
Okay.
And I was like, okay, well, let
She's
me go
like,
back to the
been there,
drawing
done
board.
that.
Yep.
How different are you?
How, and that's exactly what she was saying. Like, what makes you different? So I said, okay.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, you wrote this. And what I believe got her is I said, you said a long time ago you write poetry on the back of money and you give it out to people or you give it out as tips or something like that and stuff. And she was like, I'll come on. And I was like,
Wow.
cool, man. And when she came on, I had which obviously everybody knows now. I didn't really get to ask her too many questions. Okay. And I'm not the kind of guy who I won't dog nothing spiritual. And at the time, like it was crazy. Like a lot of people have been like, man, you were just kind of like, what? And truth be told, I was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
It went left and not in a bad way. At first, I kind of took it. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was like, man,
Like,
that's
what the
kind of
fuck?
fuck. Like, what the
Right, right,
fuck? Right. But there's a lot of shit on there that I cut out, not a lot. There's about a good like 5-10 minutes that I cut out.
right.
She was very sweet to my wife. My wife found out 3 minutes before we did the fucking thing that Debra Wilson was one of her favorite voices on one of her favorite games. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I told her that. So like right at the very end of it, she gets on and she did the voice for her and talked to her and
Right,
you
right.
know,
She gave off this, very passionate
right?
person, in
Yes,
that
I
conversation.
respect the shit out of her. I do.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
somebody I don't want to put him out there because I don't think it's not meant to
You
be
know,
like that.
yeah.
But somebody hit me up and was like, "Hey, I listened to that Debra Wilson interview," and I was like, "Yeah, man, blah 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 blah." And the person was like, "Yo, real shit, like that made me cry because they are so into what they're saying and they're so full of love." And I was like, man, I am so oblivious to some shit. And I went back and listened to it and I was like, there it is. Me trying to understand this shit, I'm never gonna understand it. But
Nope.
if I listen to it, you know what I
You
mean?
listen
If I just
and you take a step back
yeah,
and you let it be and let it do. If you don't get it, it might not be meant for you, but
right.
somebody else might get it.
That's true. It's
Like
fucking
that
true.
right there is amazing. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
true.
Like
Yeah.
something you facilitated, and I told you this before. You're a facilitator of happiness. You're a facilitator of life events.
That's true. You have said that. You
You know
said
what I'm
that.
saying? I said that to you plenty of
You have
times.
said
You know
that.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I mean, and that's true. This for this person to hit you up and go, yo, like this thing you did and had this thought to make really touched me. It didn't come from you per se,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
but
But they
if it
wouldn't have
wasn't
heard it if it wasn't for the conversation
exactly,
that we were having.
exactly.
Just to throw this out there, just because it's cool as shit, right? Behind the scenes shit, right? So Anthony Miracola's dad hit me up he hit me up and was like, "Hey, I get that Anthony is like a different kind of breed of animal here. You know what I'm saying?" He was like, "And I really like what you did because you try to bring him out of that comfort zone of just being
I
like, hey man,
he real reserved, like you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. That was
yeah, oh yeah,
like
which
that's
is
why I said
great,
you
you
went
know?
left because
Yeah,
someone like Anthony Miracola, which was like a very slow paced,
yeah,
interview. You were doing a lot of talking, trying to draw question or answers out, and then to have the complete opposite where you asked one question and it went on and went into different things and
I
stuff
got a
like
whole
that.
hour out of it.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
that was just such a dynamic shift.
Yeah.
So it was like conversations took on this whole different.
Almost like a different life, and that
Yeah,
is where I was like, I can't have no expectation for it, and I haven't had an expectation for it since. I
right,
have a set of questions, and I write down an outline of how I think the actual conversation should go, but the
right.
conversation of where it goes is
It
a
will
mind of
take
its
you.
own. And that's something I learned from her. Like, like I told you, I'll take something away from every fucking one I did. Like Anthony
Right.
Miracola's, I take something away. Got to
It
be prepared to lead the conversation.
has
Even if I don't want to, and I'm having him on, I got to be prepared to be like, "Hey, man, let me pull it out of you. Let me
to.
try to ask you." And that's why I started with the kind of funny questions, like where I was asking him, "Hey, man, you
Light
ever
them
feel
up.
bad for these people that are here
Yeah,
with you because it loosens them up, you
yeah.
know?" And the thing to take away from Debra Wilson was I can't have an expectation of where I wanted to go because I brought them on. I wanted to be on their I
Uh,
wanted
their
to do
story
something
to
with
be
them on
told.
their time, so I
Right.
have to let them be on their time.
Okay.
And
Which brings me to our next conversations, which I think honestly is probably my favorite, just because I'm a music hip hop head. You know what I'm saying?
hell yeah.
So when you told me who was coming on, I was like, wait, what?
Oh, he's
What?
a rugged man.
How'd
Fuck
you
yeah.
do that? You got the dude, the homie, already the rugged man.
Um, he was promoting his movie that he's making. He's
Yes.
directing this movie. And I was like, so I'll tell you what, man, come on, make an appearance and I'll fucking pay you a fee. Here's what I feel it's worth.
Right.
And he wrote me back and he goes, "Yeah, man, that actually works for me. That's really cool. Thanks for the support. This will work out
Right.
great." And
That's awesome, man. That's awesome
yup,
for him to, someone of that, I feel that caliber of
yup,
his level and who's he's been around and stuff like that, for him to be like, you know what, like I like how you approached me.
yeah, man.
You know what I'm
And
saying? You know the value of my time.
right. Oh yeah, straight up. And I
Basically
I
what
felt
it
it
is.
was worth what it was. I felt it was worth what I donated to the cause.
Right.
I can't say I paid it
And
to
it's
him
going
because,
to a yeah, it's
it,
going towards his
go
movie.
it's going to his dream while he's helping us live our
Exactly.
dream by helping me live my dream.
Building a
You
community.
know what I
Come
mean?
on.
Which all goes hand in hand.
Make
You know
sure
what I'm
y'all
saying?
subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit that bell, notifications, like, share, subscribe. That's the only
Burr,
way
burr,
we're
burr,
going to
burr.
grow. Yeah, shouts out to everybody who already supports and everything, man. But yeah.
Yes.
But
Thank you.
so getting back into it, again, the difference in the whole thing, because that one felt like it was, I mean, you had a bunch of questions. Y'all went for hour. I mean, I know it's way longer than what was.
Yeah. It was like almost 2 hours, man. And
Yeah, yeah.
it was actually
There's
unintentional that it just kind of, we just kept
you
talking and
got
talking.
caught up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was the longest one. It worked, man. I'm telling you, like listening to the different questions, and like I said, talking about like the Chris Jericho and working with different record labels and kind of like giving us a little insight on like, man, do this shit yourself. Like whatever you're gonna do it yourself because everyone's trying to take.
Well, you know what I fucking love about it is that at first, because I don't cut people's reactions and shit. I might cut down, to be honest, when it comes to the conversations, I cut down a lot of shit that I say because I'll get I'll get a little long-winded
Right,
sometimes.
right.
And it's like I try to prove or not prove, but I try to get my point across and I just get it like I stretch it out when I shouldn't. So a lot of it's cut down, but it's like their authentic, shit. And so the Chris Jericho, that's just something we had to know. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
like we both it
That,
intertwines with
I
everything.
feel
We
like that
both
was
like
like the
wrestling.
first question you
It
were like,
was. It really was. I
listen.
was like, and yeah, that was not cut because he was like, lay it on me. Let's go. What you
I
got? And
mean,
I was
like when
like,
you talked to me about it, you were like, "This is the first. I got this question in my head. This is what's happening."
yeah, like that's it. That's how it starts. And I'm like, yo, I can roll it with this and roll it into this and roll it into this.
Yeah.
And I
Roll
thought it
it
was
into
funny.
y'all don't get this. Roll this
Come on,
question into
pearl it. And that's why they all come out a little pearled up. You know what I mean?
come on,
A little
man.
rough around the edges, but they pearl.
Hello.
But he says, um, when, if you notice at first, as I don't cut the reaction, he gets a little flustered when I said, "So what do you think about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, I don't even know why you're asking me about that." And then he went on for about 5 minutes, and was like, and at the end of it, he was like, I get it, whatever. But then he was like, I still, I just don't understand why the fuck, we talked about it for 10 minutes, but I
Yeah.
just don't understand everybody's appreciate or everybody's obsession with it.
He's like, there's
But
so much better fighters out there.
exactly,
Yeah.
but even us, that's our fucking most watched fucking clip on
Yep.
our short by
Yeah.
fucking thousands. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And it's like, but as weird as, to put it on full circle, that's why I ask the dumb questions to ask the questions that I know. Cause sometimes I go, the common man, they want to know what you think about that. Or the
That's
common man,
it.
that's what they want to know. It's just a
Because
common man's questions.
everyone has those questions, those regular
That's it.
questions that they want to. So you ask those in between
Some
those
good shit.
other, those other wild questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you got to anchor it back.
Yeah.
You got to anchor it back.
That's some journalist shit for y'all. You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
but I'll tell you something I won't do. I'll never be that guy that do some like quote unquote gotcha journalism where I play it cool the whole time and then the last question is like so what do you think about this and fuck you and it
Yeah.
never be like shit like that. It'll always be the same. Hey man, I might throw a little quip in there and don't take it
But
as shade.
we're
It's
gonna have
different.
more to talk about
Yeah,
after.
we're
I
gonna
might ask you this weird
exact
ass
yeah,
question that might fluster you or offend you, or you might be thrown off. But guess
yeah.
what? We're gonna get over it,
Yeah.
and we're
Oh
gonna
yeah, man.
move on.
There's been a couple times. Well, what's weird? It's weird though because like with RA, and then you popped in my fucking head, and you're like, "Hey, Playboy, yo, if you want motherfuckers to really watch this shit, and you really want people to do it, give them a fucking reason
Authentic,
to
raw,
be understanding of you." And I was like, "All right, you want to know me? Here's this a little, here's some little bullshit
right?
about me. Well, it's some big shit, but you know what I mean. Here's
Yeah,
some little
yeah.
bullshit about me, and and as much as even today, sitting here doing this, talking to you right now, there's a piece of me that's embarrassed by opening up like that.
As men, we tend to feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
fuck
But
'em,
I
you know
won't
what I'm
take
saying?
it back. But I won't open up to nobody else like that because it just isn't good for me, I guess. But I will open up now. Now, if we're in the moment, I can't say never. Because if we're in the moment, somebody's opening up, I'll open up too. But I'm never gonna
Because
go
you're
into
too
something and
genuine not to. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like you're gonna have that. You're gonna match energies.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So if
Straight up, I'll
someone's
match energies.
opening
You know
up,
what I'm
you're like,
saying?
all right, you're gonna open up. I'm gonna open up with you. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah,
let you go in there alone.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely that's one thing I definitely respect about you is you're that type of person. No matter how much of a piece of shit you
Hey, hey.
what you gonna do? No, but that was just a real again, a different episode, man. A
Yeah,
different
they're all kind of, it's funny to call them episodes. They are episodes, but each one is
yeah,
really fucking different.
very different. Which and again, like I said, you had a Miracola one
Yep,
way.
yep.
Debra Wilson totally left from Miracola. But then you have RA, which is like the complete 180 of what Debra Wilson was.
Yeah, that was real
From
in
an
depth.
actress, Hollywood to a hip hop legend who's done
Rapper.
things with.
He did Cunt Renaissance on Biggie Smalls.
Come on now,
Real songs with Biggie Smalls.
come on now,
Like, come on.
and then to go from that world into the sports world,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
power slap, bro. I was watching clips of this shit You sent me clips. My brother sent me clips. Motherfuckers just ow, all this gone. And you were like, yo, I need to talk to this guy.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if you want to go into it. But there
Mm.
what? I mean,
So, long story short, there's a fucking guy in Power Slap. Like, just like you said, seen the clips. I was like, wow, this is cool. Gotta fucking talk to some of
he
these
was on
guys.
the roll with
Gotta
the
talk to one of these guys. I was
yeah.
I was watching the fuck. I'm still watching a fan
Well,
of
I'm
it.
saying you was on the roll with the
Oh,
conversation.
oh
Like,
yeah, 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 yeah. On a roll with the conversations.
know what I'm doing
Fucking yeah,
next.
yep. Know what I'm doing next. Boom. And I ended up, fucking hitting up. I'm not gonna say their names, but I ended up hitting this guy, and because he fit the gimmick of the conversation perfect,
Right,
and
right.
and I was like, yo, this would
Here's
be great.
nothing against
Whatever.
our homie, John motherfucking the machine.
Oh no, no, nothing at all. Because you know what? Because no, it worked out way better in the long
Everything
run. Things
works
happen
out
for a
how it's
reason.
supposed to.
And
Exactly.
exactly, you can't have no expectations. That's like I said, that's what Debra Wilson. And then oh yeah, and just real quick, boom. And then with RA, right? It was my takeaway was, hey man, don't be afraid to fucking really open up, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Boom. So there's my
absolutely.
three
So
takeaways.
yeah, we're gonna do a takeaway from each. So
Yep.
that way,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
okay.
I'm just gonna tell you all my
Oh
shit.
yeah, oh yeah.
Fuck it. This is
That was
the
the
thing.
third takeaway. That's beautiful. Oh, man,
Yep.
that's so we're John Davis. You're supposed to talk to somebody else.
Yep. And then for real, just all jokes aside, it is they straight up said yeah,
It
and
was
then just bullshit at me, and then just bullshit at me, bullshit at me, bullshit at me, and was like okay, and then finally I said, you know what,
I can't
fuck it,
wait. I can't be
yeah,
waiting.
I ain't waiting, yeah, well, there's a point where you just feel like, all right, guy, like what the fuck, so then I really watch and I say, you know what, man. I said I got something in common with this dude. This dude is the fucking shit. This guy John Davis. I said
Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yo, he got the boot life. My man, comes from a small town. My man
yeah,
is like, he's just straight up. He is,
family
regardless
man.
of, you know what I mean? What family man, but as a champion, he handles himself with poise. You know what I'm
Poise.
saying? He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
very fucking. I
Humble.
love how he handles himself as a champion. Like I told him, like, I don't ride nobody's dick, but I told him I was like, yo, the way you handle your champions with class, I like that because there's a time and place for everything. He'll kick your ass. He'll do what he has to do. But then when it's time to show off, that's when the showboating starts.
There it
But
is.
when it's handled, when it comes down to business,
It's
it's time to
business.
clock
I
in.
told you yes. I'm gonna do
Yep.
this. I'm
You
gonna
know,
handle my business. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
exactly. And not only that though, but for real, all jokes aside, we hit it off, man.
I was
He,
gonna say
that motherfucker was cool. Yo,
again, totally different from what the other three were. This was
yeah,
like you were talking to okay, so for me when I watched it, I felt like I was seeing us on a podcast. Like we're just two buddies that are
chat.
just it's like meeting friends. It's like, how to have a friend. You met someone and you were like, hey, what's your interest? Oh yeah, you like that? I like that too. What you do like this? Da, 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 da. Talk about family and different little things like that. So that's what kind of like drew me in. It was more of a you're not I don't want to paint you as this slap, I'll beat you, I'll slap your face off and I'll rip
Right.
you to shreds. This is a guy who's all American, well-rounded, level-headed,
Goes
has
to
a
work every
plan.
day, fucking comes
Exactly.
home and
But wants to go
drinks
out
a couple
there.
fucking sodas.
Right. And wants to go, and every once in a while he goes out there and he puts in work.
Like, and you know what though, a guy like him, people, this might be a little. I'm not going to go on a big rant, but people say that Power Slap is stupid, right? And I get to a degree, everybody gets where they're
UFC was
coming
stupid.
from.
They thought it was crazy.
Exactly, exactly. Well, they made a lot of changes in UFC too, though, since it first started.
But that's where
But
this starts.
exactly, but like I said, I'm not going to make it a big thing. You know what I mean? But but to be able to look a guy in his face that you don't know and just let him fucking cold cock you and sit there and eat it and then go, all right, my turn. To do that, not once, not twice, but possibly 3 times, possibly 4 times if
Isn't
it's
it
a
five?
title, and
Oh, is it?
possibly five. Well, it's
Okay.
funny, yeah, possibly five in a championship. 4 or 5 in a championship.
My
So
God.
5 times, and in that sport, it's the only sport out there where they go, "Oh, you flinched,
Yeah,
pussy, get hit again."
do
What
it
the
again,
fuck? Like the mental fortitude these guys have to have. It's almost you. Do you know what? If
bro.
they were wrestling, they would remind you of mankind because they go, "All right, world, give me what the fuck you got." And
Yeah,
I relate to that. I relate to these
yeah.
guys a
The
lot.
underdog type of like beat on, but I'm coming with everything I got.
It's crazy, man, because it's like, give me everything you fucking have, and last man standing wins. Mano y mano,
And
let's
that's
fucking go. It,
that's what
these
you pull
athletes
out
are
of
like
that.
the Fight Club. These are the Fight Club of athletes
Yes. Yes.
in terms of
Because it's an
nobody wants
underground,
to talk
gritty.
about it.
Yeah, you don't.
Nobody fucking wants to
Yeah.
acknowledge it, really. You
Everyone's
know,
watching it though.
everybody's fucking watching it. Millions, and it grows every time. 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. All the fucking power slap power pay-per-views,
And
they all get fucking bigger.
but that's what I wanted to say was that's what you brought out of that one was everything. You gave it everything you got because it had a little bit of everything in it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was just the fourth one, and it had everything from the previous ones. It was almost like you just kept continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? And I love seeing that. What kind of takeaway did you get from him? Because he was very, like I said, very down to earth, very humble, very friendly,
Um,
very kind.
always make not always, but try to establish that connection. Like where I told him, I was like, me and you, we have different walks of life, but in all actuality, we're both guys that come from a fucking very small
Small
town.
town, yeah,
Which is true, which is I come from my town was actually smaller than his.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Try to
you
have
wouldn't
that
know it, but
connection,
you had that connection just so that way you can go. And that for real brings me back to what I was saying about musicians and all that shit back in the day. Put you on the same level. They look at you as an
right?
equal instead of going, "Hey, I'm just on this guy's podcast because he
Because
wants me on because I'm fucking
this is a
somebody."
champion. This is a
This is a
world
champion. This is
champion
a
we're talking
world
about
fucking champion of the
on
power slap
a UFC owned
fucking
sport.
promotion.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
on a
Promotion.
promotion. Yeah, owned by Dana
So,
White.
right, this
It's
is a
huge,
big thing. This is a huge deal.
and it's only growing. And he's the power slap middleweight champion of the world. He's the fucking undisputed fucking heavyweight champion, dude.
So it's like it's
His
just one
arms
of
are
those things
fucking huge.
where he's already on a different level, but you're bringing him to this normal. Hey, you're a family man type
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
So that's beautiful, man. That's awesome. And so to round it all out, excuse me, to round it all out, we have the fifth installment,
Oh man,
the
yeah, hell yeah,
fifth episode with
hell yeah.
Alex Vincent,
And
Andy
and you
Barkley himself.
you know what? Real quick, it fucking I don't mean to cut you off. The
No, no, no.
fucking with the John Davis one, that was the first time I asked I asked a question that was like,
Oh,
what that was. I asked him, I said, yo,
off kilter. That was off kilter.
yeah, that was off kilter. That was something about that was
No,
something
no. Let them.
for
Hey, go back and see which question.
yeah. Yeah. Let's just say it
See which
involves
one that
it involves the wife.
it involves his strong hands.
It is strong hand and the
Power
wife.
slap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely check that episode out. That was an amazing episode. Just to get inside the head or see the different regiments of someone who, I mean, that's a crazy grueling sport, a new
Fuck yeah.
emerging sport. Some people might consider it bullshit because like, oh, I don't have to train, I don't have to do. No,
Yeah.
you are if you're untrained and you think you can fight, but you're gonna stand there and take a slap from a grown man. I don't think so, man. I
No.
don't think so.
That shit, the skull's fucking more fragile than you think, bro.
Right, right. But
It's
that
fucked
brings
up.
so Alex Vincent, Andy Barkley from Chucky, childhood
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
you told me this, it blew my mind. I was like, wait, what? It seems like a pretty cool guy. Like, um,
He's
music,
pretty cool.
music, that was wild.
Yeah, he does like techno, like Tool sound and shit.
Yeah.
He sounds like if I want to fuck you like an animal was like, a little more up tempo. That's the kind of music he makes. Just put a little devil behind it or something,
Yeah. Runs a studio. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Fuck yeah.
And still does like conventions and stuff like that, man. Like,
But it's crazy because he's been Andy Barkley since, number one, the only time since the very first time we've ever seen Chucky, there's only been one time this guy has never played Andy Barkley, and that was in Child's Play 3. And that's only because it was made a year after Child's Play 2 came out, and it was supposed to be in Story World a couple years later. So Andy Barkley was 13. In real life, he just turned 10. So he
okay,
couldn't play that role because he
gotcha,
was too young.
gotcha.
Um,
That's
which is cool.
wild.
Yeah. And I had to ask him some weird
Yeah, yeah.
questions too. I asked him, I think a good one was, how do you feel when, being a grown ass 40 something year old man and another man comes up to you and pops his leg down and has a portrait tattooed of you,
You're a
of a
child.
child version of you as a child. And then we'll go, hey man, sign it right here. I'm going to get a tattoo tomorrow. He
You
was like,
name tatted.
yeah, he was like, oh, it's flattering. I know he wanted to be like, hey man, these
Yeah.
motherfuckers are weird. But in reality, those weird motherfuckers pay his rent. So,
That's it. That's it. So
so
you
you
gotta
can't
love them. You
you
gotta love
gotta
that
love
shit.
him because I
It's
would love him too
a fan, bro. That's cool shit.
as a
It's
fan.
the same
Yeah.
thing as getting like people got
It's a tribute.
Freddie and Jason on them and stuff like that.
It's like when
Kind
you
of
see
same
your favorite porn star and you jerk off to her. It's a tribute. It's a tribute that lasts forever.
tribute that lasts for 37 seconds.
Oof. What kind of tattoo is
Like,
that?
get her off the screen.
You disgust me,
Get
bitch.
this filth out of here.
Fuck, I just came to that. Ugh, disgusting. It's fucking
Nah,
whore.
man, but my wife loves horror too, so she was ecstatic that you
Hell
know
yeah.
you got him on there. Just a couple different things y'all talked about. What was that one again? Because it was so different. It was a slower one. It was kind of like the Miracola one, but he had more of a chill vibe to him. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you seemed like you were in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? You were just like, hey, I'm here. We doing this. So would you kind of take away from that one with him, with Alex Vincent?
Um,
Because like I said, that was a different one. You were more I don't even know how to, I don't want to say freer. That sounds weird, but you were loose. It felt real. It felt relaxed. It felt, it still felt like you were in that pocket. It still felt like a conversation because he was, like I said, he was the first one to actually be like, yeah, smoke a joint every
he
day.
actually smokes weed. You know what I'm saying? Alex Vincent, my man, actually
Right.
smokes weed. But it's weird. So look, man, because of Debra Wilson, all right, here's what's crazy. Because of Debra Wilson, I tried to have a different kind of way of thinking this past year in like a whole different kind of way and like make it like a permanent thing, like a different kind of positive outlet.
Working
And
on ourselves,
and working on ourselves. There you go. Great way to say it. I've been working on myself, like truly working on myself.
Absolutely.
And Deborah Wilson came along and told me, on a whole nother level from the conversation, like showed me that like I still got work to do, right?
Right.
So, so I try to take things for what it is, right? But how I know I'm going about it the right way but by just doing what feels natural instead of trying to dictate it, is that like, you know, the one the one fucking dude, like, directly after that, um, it just so happened that the universe put fucking me and RA together because we both needed something and we both had what each other needed. Boom.
Right.
Right. And that was like on some whole other shit. And like he's seen it for that too. And then it went to um John Davis where it didn't work out with the one dude and instead of sweating that shit, even though I was trying to be professional, like was like really giving it the college fucking boy try, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know that I was really trying to
Absolutely.
do
He
the
was like,
damn thing.
he was grinding
And
it.
and it ended up working out way better, I feel, right? And it
Yep.
didn't even have to, it came natural. It didn't have to do that. I can't control what happens and with everybody else, but as long as the outcome gets done, or as long as they're willing to meet me that halfway, whether they get there late or not, if they're actually willing to meet me at that halfway mark, then I got to be like, hey, man, they're still meeting me at that fucking line that we agreed on, regardless if they take a day later or 2 days later to get there, or if
Right.
shit happens. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what,
Got
these
some things
people
in
are
the
my friends.
right. And you
You
got
know what
some
I'm
things
saying?
in the works that people have. I ain't naming no names, but there's some certain people who are like, yo, hit me up at certain different times. Like
Oh
later
yeah. Oh
on.
my
I
God.
know
If
I wish
that
I could be
comes,
like but there are certain people who are like, yo, hit me up at certain times. So it's like hopefully all this like, stay grinding and staying
yes.
humble in yourself and being like, okay, I'm gonna take it with the grain of salt and keep pushing along. Hopefully that
Because
transitions and translates to people being like, you know what, absolutely, I'll definitely do it.
and you know what, to somebody listening, they're probably going to look at or hear that and they're going to go, well, duh, you should take it out. But yeah, you have to look at it as, I'm not looking at it as, hey man, I'm trying to hang out with these people or whatever, or like whatever. I'm looking at it as, hey, I'm trying to put out this fucking episode. Without that, this episode does not exist. And we agreed on it. I put everything on this episode now.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's like I look at it as
There's certain things that go behind.
it's
We don't just pop it on,
yeah, you know what I
pop
mean?
it on and be like, hey, blah blah
You
blah
know.
blah
And
blah. No,
but I always have a plan B, but it
yeah,
just so happens that
XY.
um yeah, it just so happens that X, Y, and Z sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So
Always got to have a plan B, but guess what? You got to account for X, Y, and Z
it's true. But
and
it
learn to
happens.
pivot.
It's gonna happen, man. I tell you, for real, I don't know. I just look at it in a good way. Like I'm gonna continue to do them. You know, we got shit that we're talking about doing for some
Absolutely.
conversations.
Absolutely.
So
There's things in the work, y'all. We know we do appreciate y'all so much.
straight up,
Bro, I
it's fucking
appreciate
great.
you.
Appreciate you,
I,
brother.
I do have one last question. So, as someone who is has been in, you know, the music world and has done big things and stuff like that, and has been through different, we've been through different things in life, crazy things, been through
Right?
life.
Hell
What
yeah.
I want to ask you, what does success mean to you? That's your questions. You know what I mean?
Oh man, let's get it. Okay. Damn, legitimately put me on the spot.
Yeah,
What success looks like to me is where my girl don't have to go to work. My wife, I shouldn't say my girl, where my wife doesn't have to go to work, where I don't have to clock a fucking punch for somebody else. Where whether it be the podcast, and I mean that from conversation or Proed Up, whether that gets off the ground or anything else gets off the ground, I want to be able to be self-sufficient and have, you know, generate income that way through doing something of passion, because it makes you have self-worth. It gives you that credibility back to yourself. It makes you, just like a new haircut. When you get a new haircut, you look at yourself
you
and you go,
happy.
damn, that's fucking fire. I got a new
New
haircut. I'm looking
haircut
fire.
make
I'm
you
feeling
happy.
good. It makes you feel good.
You
So,
like, damn.
you know, so to do something and get paid off of something you're passionate about, that's success.
My brother, keep again, man, keep going with these conversations. We have so much in the works. Y'all stay tuned. This was a special episode, you know. So
This was crazy. I didn't
yeah,
expect
man.
it. That was
You
pretty
understand?
cool.
Yeah, I got you, bro. We out here. Big things coming. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. That's the homie,
Oh,
Mr.
I'm fucking Pennsylvania Primo.
Sylvania Primo. We out here. I mean, your boy J Buddah. This
Uh,
was a special Pearled Up Podcast Conversation edition.
Hey.
But look, man, we love y'all. Yeah.
Peace.